Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to Run It Back. We've got Lou Will, Chandler P. I'm Michelle B. How we doing, Lou?
Good morning. I'm doing well. I had a great weekend with my kids. Shout out to Winners United Basketball. We had all of our teams from fifth grade all the way up to 11 competing this weekend, and we did decently.
Whoa.
So I'm all right this morning.
There we go.
Whoa. There in the area, or did you have to travel?
We were local this weekend. We got a couple weeks before we go back out of town. We go to New Orleans in a couple weeks, but we were local this weekend. So, it's always good to play against the local teams that you have your rivalries and all of that stuff. So it was a good time.
Okay. I love this. And Chandler, good for you too?
I just got some news that really pissed me off. But yeah, the weekend was good.
Let's get into it, Chandler.
Lou's wearing the hoodie. I got to give it some time until I throw that thing back on, but I love that Lou's repping it.
I know.
We don't shy away from it. Hey, we never let a hard time humble us, man.
So that was a hard time. Raymond Felton will be on a little bit later. We're going to get to hoops right away, but Chandler just sort of touched on it. We've got some breaking news this morning. Man, people haven't had their coffee yet. And shout out Sharania reporting that Jamahl Mosley is out in the Orlando Magic organization as coach. I mean, Game 7 just ended. The jerseys aren't even washed yet, Chandler. I feel like we could have taken a breath here, but it seems like they were sitting on this one ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, the rumors were swirling for the better half of this season, and I think it's ignorant. I think it's short-sighted. I think, obviously, they didn't meet expectations in the regular season, and they kind of, fell to an 8 seed. And when we thought they were going to be, close as high as, a 1 to a 4 seed heading into the season, kind of what they gave us last year, returning everybody, signing Desmond Bane was exactly what they needed. So I think going into the season, part of the issue here was the expectation was high. Now, on the flip side, they dealt with a bunch of injuries again. Paolo had his struggles, his inconsistencies. Their second best player, arguably their first best player, Wagner, was out for most of this series. Jalen Suggs, who the GM gave $150 million, not Jamahl Mosley, was absolutely brutal this series. And you fired Jamahl Mosley, who is, and it hurts me because I personally know the guy. He's an unbelievable dude. He's a great coach. He's a great defensive mind, which I think you need nowadays in an offensive-minded NBA league. And it bothers me. They're 45-37, and again, I think they just took the 1 seed to 7 games. And if they happen to win that game, then they realize their potential and they give them another chance, or at least go into next season with the understanding of this is how we play and this is how we compete, taking the Detroit Pistons, who were the best team all season in the Eastern Conference, to 7 games. I think Game 6 really hurt him at home, getting blown out like that. I think that was kind of the icing on the cake of where this decision was ultimately made. But it's just a tough break. And now what? Now are you going to go and hire a fresh face and a guy that's never been a head coach before? Or are you going to just do the NBA refunnel thing where you hire Billy Donovan, who just failed for the last whatever years in Chicago? So let's give him another chance in Orlando. It doesn't make sense to me. I hate it. I think he'll get another head coach job because he's that type of dude in person. And I think if they would have given him just a little bit more time, and next season, if they do this again, if they fail, fine. But I think doing this the night of or the day in the morning after losing Game 7 to a 1 seed, I think it's messed up.
All right, Lou.
Well, Chandler, we've been talking about it for so long this season. My opinion is, and where I'm coming from is all secondhand information. My opinion on it is, I think this decision was made way before this series. No matter the outcome of the series, it looked like the Orlando Magic were going to move in a different direction. You hear the conversations about him and Paolo not seeing eye to eye and things of that nature. And when you have such a young star player like that, it puts management in a position they got to choose, especially if there's some tension. And again, I'm only speaking from secondhand information. I don't know anything besides what's been reported and what's been put out there. But knowing the business and knowing how this thing operates, if the coach is at odds with the guy that they want to invest in long term, they're probably going to shade the way of the star player. You see that a lot of times in the NBA. In the NBA, the players run the league. It is a players' league. In college, the coaches run the league. They are the stars of the show. In the league, the stars are the stars. And it looked like this decision was made pre-7 games or what have you. You know, I know Chandler and I, we have a difference in opinion on when this decision was going to be made. But for them to make it this quickly, you know, damn near without even exit meetings being had, it feels to me, knowing how this game goes and how the business works, that this decision was made a long, long time ago.
Yeah, and that's fair, Lou. I do think that the talks, the conversations in-house have been going on for a long time. And again, this just proves our point earlier in the season that the relationship with him and Paolo is not as strong as it should be. But looking at Paolo, how he just played in this series, this was some of the best basketball he's ever played in his career. And that is under Jamahl Mosley in the biggest stage and the biggest point of the season. You know, game 5, game 6, game 7, elimination games. And you just saw the best basketball he's ever played. So again, I know he had his struggles throughout the year, his inconsistencies. I know there was some offensive frustration about timing and spacing and you know, kind of the system in which Jamahl Mosley had offensively, not getting Paolo to his potential. But the dude just played unreal in this playoff season and series when it mattered most. Wagner, like I said, was out. Desmond Bane was okay, but solid. So, like, there was a lot of issues here, and I don't think all of them should fall on Jamahl Mosley. I really don't, but I think you are partially right. I think this decision was made up, but the fact that they did play so good, get up in the series against the 1 seed, I think I'd give this guy another chance going in with confidence that we can hang with anybody next year.
I experienced that when I actually came to Atlanta. We had Nate McMillan as a coach. He was the interim coach, and you could tell him and Trey, they kind of had a thing going on. We wasn't really sure what it was, but they just recognized that Nate probably wasn't the leader moving forward for Trey, right? And then we go on to have this amazing run. We get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Everybody is on the same page because in the playoffs, Chandler, as you know, your pride is on the line, right? So any differences that you have when it comes to playoffs, you got to put that to the side. Now you're on a worldwide stage, and you don't want your problems to peak out when the world is watching on the biggest stage of the year when it comes to the playoffs. Every bar in America, in the world, has the playoff song. Everybody is rallying. Everybody is having watch parties. You're on the main stage, and so all of those things you like to push them to the side. And so when it came down to Nate McMillan, eventually he got another year to do the job because we did such a great time, but they still butted heads. And as a team, you know, we just couldn't figure out the personality of our group and how we wanted to play for us to be successful moving forward with Coach McMillan, right? And they had to make a change. I think we're seeing some of the same thing with Orlando. No matter how well we played in the playoffs, whether we put aside all of these things that didn't get us to the place that we wanted, but we had a pretty good showing in the playoffs, we still got to go in a different direction, but because we feel like long term, this maybe isn't the mix for the players that we have and the coach that we have. I think he did a tremendous job. I don't know him personally, but anytime that, you know, he and I have interacted with each other, he seems like a quality man to me. So, you know, I don't know the ins and outs of what's going on in there, but from my situation and my experiences, this is probably what's at play right now.
I wonder if he knew, like if they knew this whole time and they just played their asses off and he coached his ass off and it was just like, I know I'm out, but let's go ahead and give this thing one
He
year.
was holding out hope that this could save him probably.
Yeah, maybe.
And I also think, I think you're onto something where I think front office, they think that this team is enough. We have enough talent. We have Paolo. We have Wagner. We like our role players. So we just need a change at the top to kind of bring the best out of them. Maybe a fresh face, a fresh start can motivate these guys. I don't agree with it, but obviously that's the way they're going.
And by the way, Paolo was asked if they have enough, and he was like, no, we just lost. We don't have enough. I mean, so it's going to be an interesting offseason down there in Orlando. But we did have some basketball.